Look, we can have the debate on if the Flames should trade Jacob Markstrom till we're blue in the face. Some will say that truly elite goaltenders are so incredibly difficult to find, and you have one here. Even in a retool, why would you give that up and risk spending a bunch of time trying to look for another one? On the other hand, you have people saying, hey, you've got Dustin Wolf who's ready and waiting for a legitimate shot with the big club. Markstrom's trade value is at its peak right now, and if you don't trade him, you run the risk of him having a down season like he had last year. Like I said, that's definitely a separate discussion we can have if you guys want, but the fact of the matter is, the rumor mill is really heating up around Jacob Markstrom, especially in regards to him and the New Jersey Devils. On the most recent Saturday headlines, Friedman mentioned that ahead of the Flames-Devils game last week, the two teams had, quote, legit conversations about Jacob Markstrom. Further to that, on Monday morning's 32 Thoughts, Elliott also mentioned that, quote, I think the Flames and Devils have been awkwardly looking at each other. I just heard it got pretty serious. Now, apparently the two biggest roadblocks for this trade were, number one, the package it would take to acquire Markstrom because he's playing some of the best hockey of his career right now, and second would be the salary retention. Apparently Calgary's not too keen on retaining too much salary on a Markstrom deal. Look, at this point I would say it's likely that we get a Chris Tanev trade in the coming weeks here, and I also think the stalwart in terms of Noah Hannafin's decision about whether he wants to stay with the Flames or get traded is going to get resolved relatively soon here, and we're either going to see a contract extension or, more likely, a trade. On the Markstrom front though, I would be shocked if he got traded at the deadline here. By no means is it impossible, but that's just such a huge move to make in season. Like, there would have to be so many assets going back to the Flames. We saw what Lindholm just went for. I don't think it's a stretch right now to say that Markstrom is the face of the franchise for the Flames, and there would definitely be teams who would be super hungry to acquire a goalie like that for their playoff run, and maybe that's something that gets revisited in the offseason when teams have a lot more time to iron everything out, not just in terms of the trade package, but also salary. You can also get more teams involved in the offseason than you can at this time of year, because that's a big thing here. Of the teams on Markstrom's trade list, how many of them have the salary or the assets to acquire him right now? Probably not very many of them. It's honestly pretty remarkable that talks even got serious with the Devils. Tom Fitzgerald and the gang over there clearly don't want this to be a lost season. They want to make the playoffs and they want to make a run. I just don't see something this massive happening now. And don't forget that the Flames, they're not basement dwellers right now. Like, they're in the thick of the playoff race. And Markstrom is by far the most important piece on that team right now. I wanted to make this because I feel like it's heating up. I'm seeing more and more Markstrom trade talk, and that's totally fine, but in my opinion, I don't think this is going to happen at the trade deadline here. We might see something in the offseason, but even that, I wouldn't bank on it. In this league, you never know for sure, though. So if the Devils were to revisit talks with Conroy, what do you think the trade package would be to get Markstrom wearing that red pitchfork? Let me know in the comments. If you want more Flames content, you know what to do. Like the video, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. You're awesome.